up in the
Degenerate into something fool. We just got tired of doing what you told us to do. That's a brace, boy. Yeah.
Now, what is up, Internet? I'm here with Tom Shaw, owner, operator, worker, everything at Tom Shaw Painting.
That's right.
How you been, man?
We've been doing great.
Yeah, staying busy?
Staying super busy.
That's cool, man. So a lot of people don't know I had never met you before until, does Dylan still work with y'all?
Absolutely.
How's Dylan, man?
He is doing great.
Dylan's a good kid.
Yep. He's a good painter, too.
Everybody's got a hard life. Me and him both do, and we've got a cool story, and I love that guy to death now, and I think he loves me too, and I think we've got a cool. I haven't even talked to him in a while.
Right.
How'd you end up meeting Dylan?
Through my son. All y'all went to Ider High School together.
Oh, Keno.
They did.
Keno?
Yep.
Yeah, I went to Ider.
Yep. And met Dylan way back when he was just a little kid and didn't really think much about him.
He was a little wild animal then.
He was. No supervision, like most of us back then. And didn't think much about it, but when I seen him walking to McDonald's to work every day for about a year and a half,
Oh God,
that showed some dedication. I told my wife, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go offer him a job right now. And it was perfect. I went and offered him a job. I offered him more money he was making right then. He put in his 2 weeks notice at McDonald's and started with us. That's been about 4 years ago.
did
now.
a 2 weeks notice there? I didn't know all this.
Absolutely.
Man. Any of this, I did not know that was a thing, and I'm so proud of that guy. I don't know much about his upbringing, but I'm assuming he was not. I think, like you said, not a lot of supervision. I don't think anyone was pointing him the right way.
Absolutely.
And me and him had some back and forth and some forth and back, you know, and man, we've really been through it a little bit. And just to see like how he's kind of growing and turning into this cool person, man.
Absolutely.
That's very cool, man. I didn't know that. I'm so proud of that guy. And
he recently found out he's going to be a father.
what's he gonna have?
He's going to have a little boy.
What? No way. That's
Yep.
cool. And what's crazy, like I was raised about the same way. It all goes the same way. I also didn't have a lot of supervision for a little while. And the minute that you find out you're going to be a parent and stuff, you're like, dude, I'm going to raise him so much better. He's going to make such a good little son, man.
Absolutely.
I almost know daddy's going to be such a good dad to that baby. That's cool, man. That's cool. I like that. That's awesome. Speaking of Keno, how's Keno doing?
He's doing great.
He's still a big guy.
He is. He's 6'5".
He's too big for himself.
He's quiet and reserved though for a big old teddy bear.
He's such a nice kid.
Yeah,
he's always been polite, always cool, man.
Yep. He's always been real nice. He's super into guns and anything gun related.
Okay.
Most safe person with ammunition, guns, break it down. He can
while they're legal.
Yes.
While they're legal, you know, before they take them away. You
Absolutely.
know?
Before they try.
Yeah. Do you think they would take our guns away?
I think they would have a very, very hard time implementing taking the weapons because there's going to be too many patriots that will not stand for that.
No, don't take my gun.
Right.
And that's our right. It's God given. Is that given by the?
No, it's God given.
Okay. Yeah.
Only God can give you those inalienable rights.
Okay.
Not the government.
Okay. Yeah. So they can't take that away.
Absolutely.
I dig that. We're going to get into that a little more later. So do you remember when Keno broke his arm in school?
I do.
Do you know who did that?
I don't.
I do. It was me on accident.
Oh yeah. I remember Dylan telling me
on accident, man. We were playing dodgeball, not dodgeball, but kickball at Henniger School.
Right.
And me and Keno and probably, I don't remember Dylan going to Henniger, but he might have, but a few other people. We would just horseplay all the time. We was tripping each other, shoving each other around. We was horse playing, man.
Right.
And so he started running the bases, and like he was going to get a home run, or not a home, but yeah, a home run. And I was like, no way, not in a mean way.
Yeah,
I just remember going
as a kid.
I just remember going, I'll trip him. He ain't gonna make it. And dude, I tripped him, and he fell so hard. And I was just like, hey man, are you okay? And no, he was not okay. And I was like, dude, what? I was like, I didn't mean to do that. He goes, just leave me alone. He was like, he was sick to his belly, man. And then I didn't even realize. I thought, I as a kid, I was like, what are you doing? What are you crying about? It's nothing.
Right.
And then once he came back, like the next day with a cast on, I was like, dude, I'm so sorry, man. Because like, you don't realize,
Right.
me and him were like, I remember one time, we were sitting together, and me and Keno would we'd harass everybody. But this one guy was like a really, really super not. He just wasn't cool, man. He like busted my lip one time, and like because he was bigger than everybody because he got held back a few grades because he couldn't read good. Probably, I'm not saying that's
Right.
the case for sure, but I'm assuming he couldn't read good, and he got held back a little bit. He busted my lip one day. It looked pretty rough, and then me and Keno was harassing him. And this was right as Keno had his cast, I'm pretty sure, and he punched Keno, and Keno stood up, and the guy walked off, and Keno started laughing at him, and I was like, yeah, man, get out of here. You don't gotta be this way. And no, I don't miss that guy at all. I assume he like hits dogs or something now. He just wasn't a nice guy, but maybe
Right.
he's grown. Maybe he's a better guy.
We can only hope so.
Yeah, I hope he has. I hope he's got a great family and
That's
stuff.
right.
So Tom Shaw painting. Now a lot of people don't know. I mean, most people do know that watch the fights, but y'all sponsored the show.
Absolutely.
Hey, you look a little warm. If you're warm, you can take your sweater off if you need to.
Yeah, I
I turned it up a little bit because I was getting chilly.
It's all good.
But and then we can always cut it back down. I just put it on 70. But how do you keep your house? Just out of curiosity, what temp you on?
68-ish.
Okay, same.
64 to sleep.
64 at night.
Absolutely.
Does it raise that bill?
No, not too bad.
it
We're
goes-
used to it. It does help you breathe and stuff better at nighttime, and I have a real hard time sleeping anyway. And the cooler you can get the temperature in there to help you breathe better.
I didn't know that.
I imagine like ice bath and stuff helps
Okay.
your body rehab and
That's
stuff.
cool, man. I didn't know that at all. And then I've seen your house too. That's the only time I've ever been in there. Was the one time I came by, man.
Yeah, freshly
But-
remodeled.
Yeah, dude, it looks great. You did it?
Yeah.
Dude, hey, so if I wanted to build a barn dominium, right? How much would I spend right now? You think it's cheaper than a house, right? We need a bigger house.
I mean, depending on what you're after, you could easily spend 50 to start.
That's not crazy though.
That's not.
No,
But and to have some nicer finishings, 100, and that's if you did a lot of the work yourself.
it's still not crazy.
You know,
Now-
if you hire out all the work, obviously
You're gonna go 2 or 3,
double,
now,
triple.
Now I'm not super good at stuff. I've never laid concrete. I need concrete, right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the one thing I don't do.
Yeah.
I usually hire out.
Well, now and how much you think on concrete on like a 60 by 60, 60?
Level the ground, do the concrete, probably
40,
15,
15?
20,000.
Okay, all right.
It's not that bad to do a pad.
Okay, so about 15 or 20 grand, and we're looking at 50 on build. Now we would need 5 bedrooms. Now that sounds crazy,
Right.
right? Is that
But you have a lot
possible?
of kids.
Yeah, is that possible with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
alright.
if they're smaller rooms and not all 20
No.
by 20 rooms and
they're
things,
getting a teeny
you know,
tiny.
if you're being modest,
They're
you
getting
can
the
save
cupboard
money.
under the stairs. And then,
You're in the closet.
yeah. No, 100%. Super modest. I just would like for them all to have their own room.
Mhm.
Me and mom have our room. They have a bathroom. We have a bathroom.
Absolutely.
That's cool. That's not crazy. I
No.
might be hitting you up because I'll do all the work, but you
Right.
might have to like walk me through it or something because somebody's gonna have to because I don't know what I'm doing.
Glad to help.
Dude, that's awesome. So when did y'all first open Tom Shaw Painting?
I think we started in Henniger in 2002. So we opened in 2001.
That's 22 years.
Yeah, 22 years.
All right, go ahead. I'm listening.
So we just started. It was just me and her for a long time, and then we just would hire a family member and turn them into a painter, and slowly, and we just kept it small these years. We just got 4 people that work with us, and
Easier that way.
keep it small, keep it family. We buy everybody breakfast every morning, keep everybody feeling like they're wanted and not just a number.
That's cool.
A lot of companies just do that nowadays.
Yeah.
It's just 547. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
get that.
Robert or Joe. You know.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. So what was the first year like? It had to be hard, right? Now, were you doing that full time year one?
No, the
Okay.
first 3 years I did full time for another man, and then worked nights and weekends for myself for about 3 years is what it took to actually get enough work to say, okay, now I can stop working for somebody else and solely rely on myself. And it wasn't too bad. You know, you'd start off with 0 employees. It's just me and my wife. So as long as we can pay our bills and feed our kids,
We're good.
we've made it.
Yeah.
And it took a few years to get established, but once you start doing good work and you treat people right and you keep your word, you won't have no troubles.
Hey, man, I see that. I dig that. And that's a good idea to have. Now, I don't know how to put it into the proper terms for the question I'm going to ask. How many homes or businesses, et cetera, would you say you're doing a year? Just curiosity and a roundabout.
It varies, but probably 50 to 150.
A year?
Yes,
And what-
depending on
The
house size or business size, doctor's offices. We do a lot of stuff at Heil and Siemens.
Dude,
and
next time y'all are at How,
Volcraft
y'all
and-
holler at me. We'll go eat
Yeah.
some food or something. That's
yeah, we're,
cool.
we're constantly out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got to let me know next time. Hey, we're at How today. So
Absolutely.
that's where I'm at now all the time. I'm at How. That's what
Nice.
I do, man. It's cool. Hit me up. We'll eat. And then on your lunch break. So how many did you do the first year, would you say? Just a guess. It's 22 years. I guess a long time.
Maybe 30.
That's wild, man. 30 to 150, man. That's cool. And if you weren't doing good work, you wouldn't have been around 22 years.
We've actually turned more work away this year than some years we did. We've had so much work turn. You can't find dependable, good
People.
help.
Mm.
It's hard. People want a paycheck, but they don't want to put in the work.
I get that. Now, I hear that a lot. Now, okay, so this is going to be kind of a hard question. I hear that a lot. And now I do think some people don't. It's going to sound rude, and you know it's not. You
Mhm.
know me as a person. When I hear that, sometimes some people don't pay enough. Do
Absolutely.
you think that's the case, or do you think no, we pay pretty good?
For us, I like to base, and what I usually do is to pay based on what experience they say they have.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll say, okay, well, I'll promise to give you this much. Let me work you a few days, and then we can just reassess.
Yeah.
After 3 or 4 days. 'Cause
Okay.
that's really all it takes.
That's fine. That's
To know exactly where a person should be fitting in as a journeyman or still an apprentice or whatever, and then go based on that. But around here nowadays, generally, you should be making at least $15 an hour.
at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I dig that. And at least.
If you're super experienced, upwards of 20, 25.
Okay. Cool.
So
no, that's
You
plenty.
you could make money.
Y'all can't find people that can paint $20 or $25 an hour.
Absolutely.
Okay,
That's what
I
we're
get
struggling.
that, but y'all heard that. Y'all heard that. We'll not pay 20, 25 if my boy can paint. Okay, that's cool.
If the skills are there, we don't have no problem sharing the money.
Well, the skills and the ability
Yes.
they want to work.
To show up, to be dependable, be respectful, have a license. These are all basic commonsensical things.
Yes, yes.
We're not asking for the world, provided breakfast,
Yeah.
home life, happy,
Yeah.
radio going.
How many hours a week?
At least 40 hours a week.
Okay.
We generally don't work the weekend. Sometimes you're forced to.
Yes.
Sometimes we do doctor's offices and things where we're relegated to having to work afternoons or weekends, but we try to really limit that work. With the being able to turn away as much work as we have this year, we can almost pick and choose
What you do.
not to work.
Not to work
weekends.
Saturday. Okay. So what when you say you turned it away, and that's awesome. And the 15 normal start out is normal right now around here. 20 to 25, if you're experienced, is above what a lot of people are making around
absolutely.
here. I think that's awesome. I do think at that point for me, I'm like, well, if you just don't want to work, you don't want to work. But like y'all are literally saying you're turning work away. So some people are like just not wanting to work because if you had enough, you'd be able to do it. Now, with that being said, what do people say when you turn them away? And then is there other companies that you turn them to, or are you just like, no, we just can't do it? I ask because I assume you have friends in the business and stuff.
It's a rarity that I refer other local painters. There's a couple. One in particular I used to recommend every time. His name is Robert Smith.
Okay.
He's an amazing friend of mine. He's a very, very, very good painter. He passed away last year,
I hate to hear that.
year before last. And I'm just struggling to find somebody that if I wouldn't use them at my personal home,
Yeah.
it's hard to recommend it to somebody else.
100%. 100%. I can't paint to save my life.
Right?
Now I can paint, but like not
Anybody
good.
can paint.
Yeah, no,
but-
I mean, I'll show you my laundry room before you leave. But it's not a great. So now when you said that, we're gonna get to it. I want to get to it in a good way. You've said her and my wife and things like that. Who is that? Tell us who that is.
Her name is Denise, and we've been together 26 years this year, coming up on
Congratulations.
27 years. And matter of fact, her birthday was just last week.
Happy
And,
birthday.
Yes,
happy birthday.
she always kind of gets a little bit of the shaft because Christmas and her birthday are real close together. And
Yeah.
when you grow up poor, and when we got together, we were poor for several years, and I wouldn't call us rich by no means, but we're rich because we have good family and friends.
Yes.
That's a different kind of rich.
Amen.
But
Amen.
But now she can just sit at home and do blueprints and work on the computer, and she don't have to leave the house, and takes care of everything else to make sure all the bills are paid. I don't have to worry about that type of stuff.
I think she's a saint.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I've met her twice, maybe 3 times. Once was when y'all sponsored the Rainsville show. Once was when y'all sponsored the Coleman show. Y'all actually flew a lady in for that show.
Yep,
I
Stephanie
believe.
Klein.
Yeah, Stephanie Klein. She
Yeah.
is
She's amazing.
She's an amazing person, a beautiful person.
She
and
has really upped her game too since
Has
then.
she? All right,
Absolutely.
cool, man.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna get on that too, since you're ready to talk about that. Now she hi, what else? And both times has been just polite as can be, and y'all are willing to help. And man, people think that I got super rich doing all that, and that could not be further from the truth.
I think you probably lost a little money than made money.
I lost a
To
lot,
keep it real.
man. Yeah, I lost a
I
lot.
know how it works.
I wish I got a bag, man. I wish I'd have got a bag. And the thing is, like, had I made a lot of money, I would still be doing it.
Right.
Why would I stop making money?
Right.
And so the fact of the matter is, we spent a lot of our money, and we spent a lot of people like y'all's money, man.
Right.
And there weren't a lot of people like y'all. Now we say some things like, well, we need a lot of sponsors to make it happen again. And we're not saying we didn't have sponsors. We
Right.
had sponsors. We
Right.
had people like you. We had people like the Willow Tree that helped. We had people like, I'm going to say Tom Shaw Painting, because I said
Yeah.
people like you. But we had it's hard because I didn't really plan to say any of this, but we had a lot of help.
Right.
The problem was we also had a lot of help.
A lot of bills go along
Yeah,
with that.
a lot of people that weren't helping, that wanted something for free and things like that. And it's just like, dude, we're spending 20 grand a show.
I'm sure it was more the state problems than anything else.
Yes. If they had backed up and just let us do our work,
Right.
man, dude, we could have a bangarang show every weekend with a doctor and EMTs and everything we need. If they just get out of my face and stop trying to take my money for nothing, y'all ain't
They want
doing
it
nothing.
all for nothing.
You're talking rude to our athletes. You're talking rude to me, and then we're paying you money for it. And that's why now I'll tell you, and I've been telling other people, we're probably going to do a show. It's just going to be a kickboxing show for the first one, but it ain't going to be in Alabama.
Right.
We're going to do a bangarang kickboxing show. Some of the best kickboxers in the state and in probably the country. And we're going to take them. I ain't going to say where yet, because
You just message me when you
Yeah,
are telling
you
people,
go.
and I'll be there.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. People. I don't want it to sound rude. I'd much rather people follow me than do what I'm trying to do because I said it out loud.
Right.
Do it after, you can do it before me and I'll follow you. But I've got this plan
Right.
kind of linked up. I'm talking to a gentleman Monday. It won't be in Alabama, 100 million %. It'll be close enough you can drive, and we'll have a good little time. Now with Stephanie, man, I think Stephanie is so beautiful. I think she's got so many awesome, crazy, amazing pictures on Instagram. I
Right.
think she can fight good, right? I think she's good looking. And so I'm getting into it. It's not like me just bragging on how she looks.
Yeah.
It's not like that. I just mean like
She's
for
doing
an
a lot.
athlete.
She's been doing a lot
Yeah,
of jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Yeah, dude. Now, she competes well. She looks well. Now she asked me leading up to that fight, because Amanda is jacked, and
Right.
but Amanda's beating everybody.
Right.
She lost. She beat Stephanie. Amanda beats everybody. So it's like, what are we even talking about?
Right.
Now Amanda's so jacked though that one of the things I got asked by Stephanie and a couple of other people was, is she a man? Because she is yoked to the
Right.
teeth, son.
Right.
She's not. She's a sweetheart of a girl that can be.
Yeah, I've met her.
And she works her tail off. If she's not
Absolutely.
on the mats, she's in the weights. If she's not in the weights, she's on the mats. It's always something. No, she's not. That's we wouldn't promote that anyway. That's not a thing we would do.
Absolutely.
Now, can we? I've fought people that are super jacked. It's just going to happen.
Right.
So now with Stephanie, we didn't lose the fight, but people were telling her to pull out. They were like, "Hey, that's a dude. Get out of that. You don't want that fight. Yada yada yada." And so it's like she called me and was like, "Hey, people are telling me this is a thing, and y'all are trying to sneak me in one." And we were like, "No, she's just super jacked. She's a jacked chick. It's just what it is." And I said, but honestly, if we're sitting here talking, if we're talking candidly, I said, now I love having Amanda as a winner, but I'm talking like as far as eyeballs on Instagram.
Right.
I told Stephanie, I said, well, really, the best thing for me would be for you to win. Like if we're just talking about me setting you up to lose,
Right.
I said the best thing possible for my company
Yeah,
would
she has
be
a bigger fan base.
Yeah, it would be for you to win and throw in an AFC shirt and this, and this. I said, but that's just not a thing we would do. We're glad you're coming. We hope you do great, and we hope Amanda does great. Whoever wins is whoever wins.
Right.
Because that's the way those fights were set up. We ain't setting up no squish. We're setting up, hey, can you fight? Because
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh,
because the cream does rise to the top.
That's right.
If you're supposed to be on the show, you'll beat the people.
That's
if you're
right.
not supposed to be on the show, you won't beat the people, man. So how did y'all end up? Do y'all get to still stay in contact with Stephanie any, or?
Not really. We follow her pretty good.
That's cool.
I watch a lot of jiu-jitsu and stuff, and I'll be like, hey, Stephanie's competing again, or she'll compete, and she does a lot of stuff with her son.
A ton.
Yeah, so she's a good mom and seems to be have a good heart and like to put good vibes out into the world, and I can appreciate that.
That's cool, man. Now, how did you get into watching jiu-jitsu? Because like most people don't watch jujitsu is the thing, and I mean that incredibly politely.
I started watching MMA first, and then I don't know. I would always hear the crowd booing or the announcer saying, "Well, the crowd doesn't really know this or that," and that made me more interested and want to know about positioning and this and that.
Yes,
and then
yes.
so you just start watching, and then you could see little movements. It's a game of inches, not a game of miles.
Yes, sir.
And it's amazing. It's fascinating to me to
That's
watch
cool.
170-pound, not even the toughest Gracie, take on some of the baddest dudes
Yeah.
on the planet at the time.
You like Brian Ortega?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
He's amazing.
I got you. What about Ryan Hall? You know Ryan Hall?
I do.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Ryan Hall's amazing. He'll throw himself on the ground and grab that
Yeah.
leg quicker than anything.
I got a guy. You know Chuck Mitchell or no?
That
Okay,
doesn't
so
sound
Chuck
familiar.
Mitchell's my jiu-jitsu coach. He's in Huntsville. I don't get to see him as much as I would like to. Mother, check the sound. But I got a guy, Chuck Mitchell. He's a black belt at 10th Planet. He runs the gym in Huntsville. You got to meet Chuck. You would
Nice.
enjoy the conversations with Chuck, picking his brain. I think you would, and I think he would enjoy talking to you because again, I love jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Everyone doesn't love jiu-jitsu, but the fact that you're sitting there educating yourself, watching it, and able to talk about it and stuff, you would enjoy that conversation. So I've got to link y'all up too. You met Trey, or not Trey, but oh man, I'm Trent Slayton a while ago.
Yes.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Y'all became friends quick, man.
Oh yeah.
So is that just a thing for you all the time? You meet people and y'all are buddies? Because like you seem like y'all became friends fast.
It doesn't take much. I mean, if you're respectable, I'm respectable back, and
That's cool, man.
easy peasy.
That's cool. I heard it. I ran to the restroom and I heard y'all. I was like, man, they buddies already. How old are you?
I'm 48.
Okay. Now, you know Matthew McAlpin or no?
No.
That's my dad.
Ah.
Okay. But y'all are about the same age. My dad might be older. I'm really not sure how old he is. Where'd you go to school?
Up north in Indiana.
Indiana? My granddad's from Indianapolis.
Yeah, Fort Wayne.
Okay.
where I'm from.
I'll have to ask him about that. When did you move here from Indiana? And before that, what was Indiana like? You miss it? You don't remember?
No, I don't miss anything about Indiana. I don't miss the city life. I don't miss anything. I miss some of my family that's there, and that's it.
Do you ever get to see them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We take trips up there, and then a lot of times my kids live up in Indiana. So what I'll do is they'll either bring their whole fam down, or if they can't afford it or they got things going on, I was like, hey, I'll pay for the trip.
That's
Just
cool.
get here.
That's a
All you gotta
blessing.
do is
ain't it?
come here and
That's
go
a blessing
home.
to be able to do
Absolutely.
that. Okay.
Absolutely. Even if it's only a few $100, it's still
It's a blessing.
It's well worth every penny to get them down here and hang out for a week or whatever, and then they can go home.
They stay with y'all or stay at the hotel?
No, they stay with us.
That's cool.
We wouldn't have anybody stay anywhere else.
Yeah,
but with
that's
us.
cool,
We
man.
have 2 spare rooms and mi casa.
I like that. That's cool, man. That's cool. So what about what's the plans moving forward? Oh no. When did you move here? Sorry.
We moved here in 2000 and at the end, beginning of 2002, February 2002.
So right before y'all started the painting business.
Yeah, right after.
Right after.
So
So
we were in business about a year, and it just wasn't going as good as it needed to.
in Indiana.
In Indiana.
Okay.
And she just came up to me out of the blue when I got home from work one day. It was really, really late at night. The kids were in bed. And she just threw a softball up there and said, hey, you want to give it a try in Alabama? And I don't think she ever expected me to say yes. But I just looked up and I said, yeah, let's do it.
Why Alabama?
She has family from here, and she went to Eider High School when she was a kid.
Okay.
So,
Outer Spider.
yep. And which was kind of funny because I went to Snyder High School up north.
Yeah.
Their colors are black and gold.
Okay.
Eider is black and gold.
What was y'all's mascot?
Panther.
Panther. The
Snyder Panthers.
I can see that. I can hear the accent now that you say it.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed.
You just have to slide back on down into the Alabama voice.
There it is. There it is. Oh, son. All right. Okay. Dude, I never would have saw that coming. I got to ask, do you drink any?
It's very rarely. I got about 16 or 17 bottles of
That's
unopened
cool.
whiskey at home.
Why? 16 or 17?
I just get gifted.
That's
And I
cool.
purchased 3 weeks ago. I was like, oh, for the birthday, I'm gonna get this margarita mix and get an absolute. We'll go get some make some drinks. It's still not even open.
What do you sip on when you drink? If you're sipping, you're having a sip at the house, you got the fire going, you're watching a fight, you're chilling. What are you sipping on? Not beer, but
Probably Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke.
I don't like beer.
Okay. I like some beers. I like orange beer. I like Goat Island. I like their blood
Right.
orange. I like ciders more than I like beer. But now if I like a Coors Banquet here and there because of Brandon Hancock, buddy of mine, he made me like them. And then I like anything I can put a lime in. You know,
Right.
I'm the red Mexican.
Absolutely.
Is the thing. I used to be the like the least open to trying new foods ever. And now, man, I love Hispanic food so much I can't stand it. And I don't mean
That's actually some of my favorite.
Los Arcos though. I want
Right.
them. I want them on the taco truck on the side of the
Absolutely.
road. I want some of that. I want
They're
to.
the
I want
most
to.
authentic.
I buy tamales from this lady on Facebook who don't even talk English. She
Right.
just says we have delicious tamales, and I'm like,
I
I
bet they are delicious.
they're
too.
delicious. I'll take 2 dozen. But I love tamale. I love all that. And yeah, but if I'm sipping, I sip on Alto's tequila. That's my go-to. Now
Nice.
everyone says, "Oh, tequila," but I'm not a shotter. I don't take shots. I'm
Right.
30. I got 4 kids.
Right.
I'm a sipper.
A drink, right?
Yeah, I pour it on ice.
Right.
I have me like 8 limes cut up. I pour me a fair glass on ice. And what else? Because like the ice is melting, you're gonna get like 10 drinks out
Right.
of it. It's not the same.
Absolutely.
You know? I cut the limes up. I have me some salt. Salt. Take me a sip. I'll hang out. And when I get ready for another one, I'll do it again. My mouth be looking crazy from the salt and the lime. But yeah, that's my go-to. If you ever get a chance to try Alto's tequila, try it.
Nice.
Alto's tequila, try that, and go with the reposado. Get the brown. You're gonna be like, it's gonna be cheaper than it's gonna be cheaper than Patron. It's gonna be cheaper than any of the top shelf stuff, but it's
Right.
gonna taste bad. Or I don't like
Nice.
Patron.
I don't either. I
it's
think it's harsh.
It's not good.
It's
I don't.
terrible.
I think it's white people tequila. Hey,
It's-
let's get those kids drunk. Why are you getting the kids drunk? Why are
It's
y'all making?
terrible.
No, it's got a pretty bottle, and I think the taste is not great. Alto's Reposado is going to go down very smooth. It's going to go good with your food, your tacos. If you're eating some,
Nice.
if I make tacos regular on that griddle out there.
Right.
I'll pour some tequila over them. I don't care. I'm cooking it
Nice.
out anyway.
Right.
And when I make my you know, you do the onion cilantro, you know. Little tequila. It's good, man. It's good for you. But yeah, it's wild, man. So how did you meet your wife? How'd you meet her?
I met her through her cousin Brett. I
Okay.
was really good friends with him. Back in a different life, we had some classes to get right
Okay.
together years and years ago.
I get it.
And we lived in the same neighborhood, and they would give us enough time. We give us a full hour to get like 10 minutes from the house. So we would ride our bicycles. I'd ride a bicycle over to his place, and then we'd just ride bicycles downtown, do our little class, and then ride so much time to get back home.
That's cool.
Well, she just happened to be over there one day when I went over there where I wasn't supposed to be. And she was there. So, you know, the way to get to a mom is to mess with her son. So her son was in the other room. So I started messing with him. She's like, "Oh, what are you messing with my son for?" I was like, "I slap him around a little bit." And
He's cool. He's
yeah.
He's not bleeding yet.
Not right. And I left, and then she inquired about me, and then about 2 months later, I
you
guess.
put the riz and you went you rizzed up, son.
Yep,
And you made the move. You said, "I'm gonna talk to that boy first."
that's right.
That's cool.
And then I went to class, and then she pursued me a little bit after that, and then we went back and forth for a couple months, and then we got together. And
And that was how you met Keno. You met
Yeah.
Keno. How old
Mhm.
was Keno?
3.
That's cool, man. That's so you that's crazy that y'all been together that long.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all just, man, she's cute as mess.
Yeah,
She's such a sweet lady.
Yeah,
Such
she's
a sweetheart of a lady.
she couldn't have a bigger heart of gold.
Firecracker though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She'll fight somebody. Yeah. I
Absolutely.
get that too.
She's not gonna put up with it
No, I can see that. I can see that.
in the best possible way.
So you and Keno were, oh yeah, we're not saying
Right.
nothing bad.
Yeah.
Now you and Keno were close before y'all even got married or anything.
Absolutely.
Because for some people it's hard. Those with stepdad, you know.
It is very hard. I think it was harder for my daughter to accept me because she had seen a couple other past boyfriends come and go.
Her daughter. I didn't know
Her
Keno had a
daughter.
sister.
Yes.
Your
older
daughter
sister.
too, though. I get
Yes,
it. I get that.
I don't differentiate.
No, that's good.
It's all the same. to me.
Same.
But she seen a couple guys come and go and just thought, you know, and I just basically told her, I'm not going to give up and I'm not going to leave. And I know you don't know that yet, but you'll see.
You're gonna find out.
But you'll see. And she just finally, after a couple of years, finally accepted I wasn't going anywhere. And I think we have a really tight bond right now.
That's cool,
We
man.
conversate constantly.
Now, hey, baby. Hey, buddy. Say hello.
Hey.
All right, let me get it done. Say nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
That's Connor. She's my best friend in the world. She said if anybody calls
Oh.
me, she said if anybody calls me fat, it's a problem.
Right. I
'Cause,
seen
like,
that, she said.
Yeah, because I call myself fat because I am a little chunky right now, and
Right.
she don't like that
It's
at
all
all.
good.
Oh, dude,
I'm in the running.
I was 154.6 right there.
At weigh-ins.
Yeah, I'm 246 today. What?
I think we're about exactly the same.
Bro, it's crazy, man. I feel huge. I feel massive and trying to
Right.
get through it, man. So, so now I gotta ask. It's a weird question. Is Keno's and I don't. What's the daughter's name? What's your daughter's name?
Brittany.
Is Keno and Brittany? Is their biological dad around?
No.
See,
Brittany's dad passed away.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear
Keno's
that.
dad is around,
Okay.
and he does have a relationship with him.
Okay, that's good.
It's a lot better now than it was when I first came along.
Yeah.
Everybody was standoffish and wanted
Yeah.
to argue and things like that, and I just wasn't going to have it.
Yeah.
I was already ready for a change in my life, and I was already turning to God and my
cool,
wife,
man.
and we were already trying to. I already left all my friends from the past in the past where they belonged, and I had to make that change to not fall down the wrong path
I like that.
that a lot of people do.
So when I have one, I have 4 daughters. I
Right.
have one stepdaughter, right?
Mhm.
And I just say that for the sake of the story. I don't tell people that's my stepdaughter.
Right,
I'm just like, that's my kid. You know, I'm in
Exactly.
the same boat. That's my kid. And if someone was to be reading to her, we're gonna have a big old hoot about it. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
just same as the other ones. There's no different.
Absolutely.
But when we first got together, Vicky was married before we had married before, you know, and we started talking and stuff. We actually we had met. I'll tell you a funny story. So we had actually met when we were like 16, 15, 16, and she was with Kira's dad at the time, and we ended up going to the same party. And on our way to the party, the police had got behind us. You know, you was 16, we was drinking,
Right.
so we pulled off and we dropped our stuff off, and then we went over to where they were. And we had to find a person to buy us stuff, you know,
Right.
because we weren't old enough, and it was a big, huge deal. And so we get over there to where they're at, and we were talking to them and hanging out, and I thought that was her, demon. And so we were talking to her. We didn't have any attraction at the time, nothing like that. Just, you know, we were talking, and
Just kids,
I'm friends with her, with Kira's dad at the time. Hey, how are you? What's up? You
Right.
know? So we're there and we're telling them like, yeah, the cops got behind us. We had to drop our stuff off, you know. And I don't recommend kids drink. To be fair, I'm just telling the
Right.
story. There should be more around here for the kids to do.
Absolutely, there should.
Should they be drinking? No. And is that a good excuse? No. But there should be more stuff here for the kids to
I
do.
100% agree.
Amen. And that takes people in power in politics getting it done. And if they decide they want to get it done, it'll get done. And if it don't, they'll bring in another restaurant for us to eat at.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah, another one.
We've
Another
got
one.
3,000 people. We need a 7th restaurant.
Yeah, let's get another one, bro. It'll be great. And so we told them what had happened. And they're like, oh, man, well, we got to go. And we were like, okay, we'll see y'all later. Didn't think nothing of it. Went back to get our liquor. Gone, son. They snatched us, what they did. And I make the joke, and it's inappropriate. I'm like, he stole my liquor. I stole his wife. You know, it's a joke. I would
Right.
never say that in a serious way. And but, you know, it's so that's how we actually met. But how we ended up getting together is you ever played Trivia Crack on your phone?
I hadn't.
It's a trivia game, man. And I was playing and playing and playing. And then I saw her and we started playing. And like, I didn't think nothing out of it. I think now that I think about it, she was rizzing me on Trivia Crack. But so we started playing Trivia Crack and I realized she was kind of cute. And so I started trying to, you know, make time, you know, start trying to
Right.
get in there and talk and stuff. Shouldn't have, but, you know, I did. And she's my wife and that's my baby. And, you know, so it just kind of escalated from there, you know, and then she moved down here from where they were. I think it was like North Carolina at the time or something. I don't remember where. They moved down. I met her and everything just kind of started clicking. And then I went to take her home one day. We couch surfed at my buddy's for like 2 or 3 weeks at Christmas time, snow, had fun.
Nice.
And then I didn't have anywhere to live. I was couch surfing,
Right.
you know, so I took her home. You know, and I got to thinking to myself on my way back from there, I was like, well, if she'll give me the time of day and I'm ugly as mess, she might give someone a little prettier and a little more well off the
Right.
time of day. I said, I ain't even going to let that be a possibility. So I called her and she was like, hey, and I was like, what are you doing? She's like, well, you just dropped me off. So I'm here. I was like, well, why don't you just come live with me? And she was like, where? I'm like, we'll figure that out. So I drove back and I picked her up. And at first we lived at a cemetery that we mowed to pay the rent. And she worked some, I worked some for a minute. And then but I was like, I don't like sleeping alone, you know? So she came in one day from work and it was time to wake up for work. And she was getting ready to go to work and I wouldn't let her out of the bed. I said, just lay here. I'll go to work. I said, it was stupid, but I said, let me take care of you.
Right.
And, you know,
Right.
she quit her job at a children's place where she was at the time. And she worked at, it's like it used to be Western Sizzling in Fort Payne. You know
I
where
know
that's
exactly
at?
what it is. Yep.
Now, who owns that? Do you know?
I don't.
So the guy that owns it, one of the sons that was managing it, cussed her one day when she quit And she won't never show me who. I don't go there and eat. The food's gross. They got roaches. I'm kidding. I'm
Right.
kidding. But I would just would like to say something to him, like, hey, that's not really how you handle it. Just tell him, hey, they quit. They quit their
Right.
job. But she won't point him out. And again, we never go anyway. But the few times she won't never tell me who it is, because I ain't like trying to fight him or nothing. But hey, man, you yelled at that lady like 6 years ago.
Right.
You should probably apologize. And dude cussed my wife the other day at Taco Bell. She was at the Taco Bell drive-thru just ordering her food. Some guy got behind her and said, "Hurry up, you GDB." I'm here at the house with the kids, so like, what am I gonna do?
Right.
Dude, if I'd have been there, I was tore up, man. I was
I
pretty
just don't
mad.
understand people.
I would like to meet the guy, but he's in some truck that his daddy probably bought him. He probably ain't been taught how to live yet and stuff.
It's a
But
shame that common sense ain't so common.
you don't talk to ladies like that. Like, I've been awful and I have my own shortcomings and sins, but dude, you're at Taco Bell in
Right.
public, man.
Right.
And so it got to the point where we're doing all that. But once we realized we were really going to be together and I was going to be curious, stepdad, I made sure the first thing I did was I got with her dad, and I said, "Hey, man, look," I said, "I just want you to know that, like, there's not going to be anything crazy over
Right.
here. We don't want to keep y'all from seeing her. You can have her anytime y'all want. Just tell us, Now, I said, I'm going to have to whoop her some because she lives with us more than you. I'm going to have to whoop her a little butt. We try not to whoop them.
Right.
I said, but I'm going to have to,
Discipline is okay.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, parent her some.
Right. You're not saying child abuse. You're saying discipline.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
big
I
difference.
said, I'm going to have to discipline her
Right.
some to make sure she's raised right, because we don't want her pregnant at 15,
Right. Absolutely.
And then I said, but your grandparents, so like when I was growing up, I had a step mom, and God bless her and rest her soul. I hope she's in heaven. But we had a really rough go for a while. We weren't cool. She didn't like me. I didn't like her.
Right.
She passed away a while back. It was very, very rough on my brother. And I never thought in a million, I used to pray for her to die. Right. I wanted to see that more than anything. And I don't mean that negatively. I was just so angry about the way she had been in my life.
Right.
And I didn't think there would ever be any scenario that I would pray for her to live a long and happy life and go to heaven. And then found out she was passing, and like I could just see how bad it was tearing my brother up. And I said, I'll go pray right now. I pray right now. And I told him, I said, Zach, we got to get her to heaven. I said, you ain't never going to see her again. He said, well, she's saved. I said, is she though? I said, we got to get her to heaven, man, or you ain't never going to see her. And I hollered at Kenny Young and them over at his place, man.
Yep.
Such a great group of guys. And I told them, I said, I need y'all to go over there and pray for her, because they'll do it. They'll lay hands on them, man. They'll
They
get
do
it.
a lot of good for a lot of people.
They do. And people don't want to admit it, but they do.
They do.
And sure enough, Kenny took about 7 or 8 over there, and they prayed over her hard, man. I don't think there's a dry eye in that room. There's wild. I meant to go, just didn't. I wanted to pray over her too, but it was hard to get to that point,
Right.
But they went over there and prayed over her like crazy. And Kenny called me. He said, Sam, I didn't know it was as bad as it was, or I'd have been sooner. I said, no, we appreciate you going, and Zach's appreciated him going and stuff. And I think it was like 2 or 3 days later, maybe a week or two, she is gone, man. And I still hope and pray today that she is in heaven, because I want my brother to get to see his mom again.
Absolutely.
And but growing up, she didn't really want me around my grandparents and stuff a lot, and it was a weird thing. It was a lot. It's a lot to unpack.
It's very hard for a step anything to get their footing, and if you're not, as the step parent, you should be extra patient, extra cautious, and as a regular parent, don't have the uncomfortable conversations in front of your children. Don't say, hey, don't discipline them like that in front of the other spouse. Don't talk about them while they're there. Because they're listening.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. I get that. And then I told right after I talked to him and told him that, I made sure to, the next time I saw her grandparents face to face, I said, look, I'm gonna tell y'all the same thing I tell Dylan. Y'all can see her anytime you want.
Right.
Just holler at us, let us know. So
Absolutely.
because if we don't know that she wants to go.
Right.
I said the only time we're ever gonna say no is like if she is grounded right that second, and then her reaction is, I'm going to Mama's.
Right.
No, you're not.
Right.
No, you're not.
Like I used to tell my kids, you can do whatever you want to do, but if you don't want to, speak up for yourself.
Yes.
Don't go do stuff, parents, friends, whatever. If you don't really want to.
No, you're good. Just be cool, man. We'll get you over there if you want to go. You're fine. And Kira is again, I showed him a while ago, but you see that painting in there, the wood one?
Yeah.
Kira did that.
Nice.
The 12-year-old did that. And then, so she's an artist. Now, I don't know that she could paint professionally, but she is a little artist, and we paid her for that. So technically, she's a pro artist, man. So it's cool. What's some of the cooler things that you love being a dad? Yeah,
Yes.
same, man. Anything like it?
No, not really.
Anybody that loves you
Not
the
the
same?
not the feeling, not the feeling that you get from seeing the feelings they get from succeeding. Like when you see a child struggle at something and struggle at something, but then you don't go out of your way to overly help them,
Yeah,
to watch them succeed then
yeah.
is just an amazing endorphin release of yourself.
Hey, man, I love being a dad. I love it. I told him earlier. I told Trent earlier. Kira just used. Kira, how much hot glue did you use? It was like 5 pounds of hot glue, and she formed a snail out of it.
Nice.
5 pounds of that's hot glue. Nobody else gets to use now. No, so it's not nice. But it's Kira, bring me the snail. Bring me the snail. But she fashioned a snail out of it, and she used like toilet paper to make it shell, and she's an artist. And I think if we can find a way to really cultivate that and help that grow, I think that's going to be awesome. You said Kino likes guns. Did he like guns growing up?
He has. He's always liked weapons and guns, and we have always pushed gun safety and
100%.
showed him and told him how to do certain things. And now when I want gun advice, I call him.
Show him. So tell him what.
Hey, that's awesome.
What's the glue? What is glue on there? Oh, okay. She don't know. Well, anyway, that's a snail she made. She makes all kinds of things. She does
Nice.
art. She does all sorts of things.
Hey, that's pretty creative.
Yeah, that's cool. And then a Rune Beasta said, "Can I get some?" I don't think that's a real person, but I don't think it's a real person. So Kino did always like guns. Now, is he getting to do any work with guns now, or is it just a hobby that he enjoys?
I think it's just a hobby he enjoys, but I really think he could make a serious living at anything gun wise.
Okay.
Anything weapons or guns, whether it's teaching, classes, safety, he would have no trouble.
What's he doing now? I'm just curious.
Basically he just does, he's basically like a farmhand.
Okay, cool. That's cool. That's gotta be so fun though.
His fiance's father's a retired Detroit police officer.
Okay.
And he has some medical issues and stuff. So basically he does maintains the farm and the house and takes care of everything. And then he pays them. And of course his fiance works also. So
that's cool, man. Now, you know, that guy was doing some real policing.
Absolutely.
Over in Detroit, son, I can't imagine all that. The next
30 years, 32 years, I think.
That's wild. I don't even see how you'd retire from Detroit. That sounds crazy to me. I think the more likely scenario is you get shot.
Right, absolutely.
Why'd you get shot? I arrested his brother.
Detroit.
Next question's kind of hard. We're talking about Detroit. What does his grandpa seem like? His his grandfather-in-law, I mean, the Detroit officer. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's all right. I met him a few times. We been out to eat a few times, and he seems fine. Okay. He's just a retired, laid-back fella. You could tell he's dealt with a lot of things in his life, but he keeps it reserved.
I got you. Next question's kind of hard. It does seem like we have a lot of kind of gung-ho officers around here. I know Sylvania does right now.
Right.
That guy's writing a lot of tickets.
Right.
Why are we writing so many tickets? Why can't we just not write so many? It's a hard question. You're not an officer of law. I'm just curious to your opinion.
Right. Hey, I'm for police. I'm for good
I'm
police
pro
officers.
Good police. That's where I'm
and
at.
I'm against bad police. And the sad part is, I'll tell you, the biggest problem we have is when police officers aren't doing the right thing, the good police officers are turning into bad police officers by not correcting the bad police officers.
Amen.
And I would rather them be ostracized or looked at funny for doing the right thing than keep violating people's rights or, like you say, nonsensically writing tickets.
Amen.
You don't need to generate money for your citizens.
Yeah, I get you.
I mean, we all have to live here together.
Yeah, come on.
There's real crime out here.
Yeah,
there's real drug people. There's all kinds of stuff. Real theft. Real everything happens here.
And I'm of the party that I don't believe weed is a real problem. Now, if that guy's selling weed to like a kid, yeah, it's a problem, 100%. But if some adults want to smoke a plant that grows naturally, I see no issue. Now, if someone's cooking dope and selling pills and yada yada, get that cat out of there.
Absolutely.
Weed's going to be legal in 10 years anyway. Weed's legal in Tennessee and Georgia.
Several states.
So so what are we just in the middle because our state's slow? Mm-hmm. I think that's a kind of weird thing to write. And that Henniger almost had a weed plant, right?
Dispensary.
What'd you think about that?
I would have been all for it. It would have
Okay.
created several hundred jobs. It would have, I mean, the revenue alone. I honestly don't even know why we don't even have a lottery here in Alabama. The schools would benefit. Medical people, the hospitals should benefit. I'll
Yeah.
say should. Not
You know
would.
why?
Well,
It's Bible Belt.
yeah, it
You
is.
ain't getting no lottery here because
I just keep saying a couple more years, the last few serious true Bible Belters maybe step down and be done.
Hopefully.
And then hopefully we can start enacting new laws.
I love God and Jesus so much, and all the good that they've done in my life is entirely undeserved. That's Matthew 9:10-13. It's you know the verse or no?
I don't.
I don't want to lie to you on it. I don't want to paraphrase. I want to say it right, but it's my favorite verse in the Bible because it's my only chance to go to heaven, aside from John 3:16, which is important. But this is as far as like how, just I've sinned, man. I've been awful, and this is the only one that really ever made sense to me. It said, while Jesus was having dinner at Matthew's house, many tax collectors and sinners came and ate with him and his disciples. And what that means is they just mean bad people. When the Pharisees saw this, they asked his disciples, why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners? On hearing this, Jesus said, it is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick.
Right.
But go and learn what this means. I desire mercy and not sacrifice, for I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners.
Absolutely.
And that's my one real shot at going to heaven because, man, I'm king sinner. I'm out here, man. I'm trying to get right.
I don't know who isn't.
Oh God, but yeah, it's a great way to look at it. Everyone's sinning on this planet, and I would never, like, we say some crazy stuff, and I would never try to police a police officer's life. They have a
Right.
hard job.
Absolutely. We entitle them to certain things, but we expect to be held to a higher standard also.
Yeah. And the higher standard part's hard. I understand. But now, again, and for me, this is my opinion. Whatever they're doing at their house does not concern me.
Right.
It's not my business, dude. But if you're out here writing 100 tickets a month and just kind of harassing people, or you're writing a bunch of tickets for weed when you're smoking weed at the house,
right,
or you're arresting people for dope and putting them all over the internet and stuff like this, and then a cop that's smoking dope too. What are we talking about?
Absolutely.
What are we talking about?
Bad police officers.
That's a bad police officer thing. We're supposed to have. So one thing on the grapevine that I've seen a lot is a lot of people saying, "Hey, will you say this because I'm afraid what's going to happen if I say it?" And I'm like, afraid of who? And they say the police. That's not
right.
What that.
I mean, I'm going to say what I believe,
always,
and that's just going to be the bottom line.
Always, man. And you're pro cop. Super pro good
absolutely.
Cop, man. Super.
I mean, I have a Pledge of Allegiance on the back of my Camaro with a blue line.
Okay.
All my gear has.
You're a blue line guy.
Some.
Okay.
Blue line, good police officers.
Okay.
Absolutely.
See, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's where you should be. I'm super pro the good guys.
Yeah,
I'm pro the good guys.
Anybody that's good firefighters and police officers, EMTs, those are the true heroes. Those are what I would really call celebrities.
Amen.
What people call celebrities today are not celebrities.
Amen.
They're just people.
Amen.
They're just actors and actresses, and
amen. I dig it. Now, what do you think about the growth of Henniger so far? They're trying to grow a little bit. They're trying to get it going. What are you thinking about?
We're trying. I think small, and I think we need more citizens to step up. I think if all the citizens will do their part, and all of us start going to the meetings more, and everybody get involved, we could probably keep it a small time feel, but still grow at the same time.
Have some cool stuff for the kids.
Absolutely. We definitely need something for the kids.
So, like, growing up, we were drunk every weekend.
Right.
Like Ider, dude, you want to party, you went up to Ider. We were drunk every weekend. We were high every weekend.
Right.
We took, and I'm just saying what it is. We took our allowances, and like if I got 50 a week for an allowance for cleaning and mowing and doing all my stuff, right? We took 45 of that and bought weed, and then we bought some cheeseburgers, man, or spice even.
Right.
Just unsupervised and nothing else to do. Where else were we going to go? We were 15, 16 years old. Where could we? Well, you can go watch a movie at Fort Payne. Well, we've done watched a movie. We can go to the restaurant. We ain't got enough money for the restaurant. We done bought the weed. I think there's got to be some Albertville. Now, Albertville, granted, is bigger than Henniger and Fort Payne and yada yada yada. But if we count Henniger, Sylvania, Fort Payne, Ider, and Rainsville as one collective unit, I would say we're close to the size of Albertville at that point. No,
I would think so.
Okay, so something in like Fort Payne, little water spot, little water park, little something in Henniger or Ider, where I don't care where it's at personally, just as long as there's something for the kids to do. Because if kids ain't got nothing to do, they're gonna get in trouble.
Absolutely.
What you're seeing happen is a whole group of kids. They're going to the football game on Saturday night, Friday night, and they're like, "What do we do now? We're going to the party, man."
Right.
And then once they're at that party, you don't. And see, I remember we was at a party one time. I was 16 years old. And while we was at the party, there was a guy they're like 35 years old, like very clearly 35, at
Right.
least 35. Right?
35 out of place guy.
I think he looked older than me.
Right.
I think he looks older than me right now. And he was like, there was this girl there that I know was a grade or two below me, and him and her was like cuddled up by the fire and stuff. Like that dude probably supplied some stuff besides alcohol to that party.
I promise that.
Yeah. So while those kids are there at those parties, and those old weird dudes that want to give kids drugs are there, they're giving those kids drugs, and then those kids are getting addicted to drugs. When it could all be avoided by just, hey, we've got something way more fun than going and getting high in that field over there, getting drunk until we can't see and dying.
Absolutely.
But there's got to be a people in power that want to get it done. I love Henniger. I like the mayor and all them. I love the people that are working at the mayor's office, that work at the city hall and stuff. They've all been very polite to me.
Right.
Y'all got one up there that's a super sneaky secret weapon if y'all decide to put her to work. And y'all probably got more, but one for sure that I know of is Alicia Bearden. That young lady is smart.
Nice.
That young lady is smart, and I guarantee she's only around here working because one, she likes her job, and two, she's got a little old man that she's going to marry,
Right.
or is married to. I don't know which, but she's smart. She was so smart in school. She's very well spoken. She carries herself well, and I'm very excited to see what she ends up doing for you guys. Because
we need more people like her.
Oh, dude, she's awesome. I'd bat for that lady any day. She's let me get my foot in the door with them and stuff, and then. Even aside from that, I'd say that anyway. She's very smart, very cool, very, very well spoken, very good person, I believe. And then, so if someone wanted to get their house painted, like say I needed my house painted, I got a double wide. You can eyeball about how big it is. You know what you're doing.
Pretty much, but
what would we spend roundabout? Just close. I want it not a super, super expensive color. Say I wanted
the color wouldn't matter.
Okay.
Color wouldn't matter, and the amount of colors until you surpass 4 or 5 different colors. If you had 8 colors and wanted every room a different color, that's when it would cost a little bit more. Other than that, there wouldn't be no cost difference for color wise. Basically, we run a square footage is how we do it.
Okay.
We just measure out, do a square foot. If you didn't want the ceilings or need the ceilings, your ceilings look pretty good in here, you could get away with just doing the walls or the trim. You could save quite a bit of money. Without measuring, you're probably looking at somewhere in the 1,500 to 2,000 range.
the whole house though.
And for this trailer, just a small, we could blow through it pretty quick. And
That's cool. That's cool.
you have
But
to
it all
look at-
comes down to the square foot.
Absolutely.
I dig that. And you
Absolutely.
didn't get to get the whole measure on it too. So square foot, I get that. That's
Yeah.
cool, man.
Just measure it up, and then measure up, count your doors, count your windows. Does their baseboard, is their crown molding? How many windows? Is the window got a sill? Is it full wrapped? Just little things like that.
How would you say pricing compares to other places?
Ours,
Look, I gave you a softball on that.
ours is less.
Yeah,
We can't charge as much as say Chattanooga or Huntsville or something because that's a city.
Yeah.
Got a lot more people. More people means more demand. We have less people, less demand. So you have to be fair. I have to make a living. I
Yeah.
have to pay my guys,
Yes.
but got to be fair also, which means you got to get it done.
Yeah.
Got to get in, do quality work, get it done, and move on to the next one.
I like that. I dig that. So I mean, obviously it's working. It's 22 years.
Right.
Pricing seems very fair. It's going to be by the square foot. Now, do y'all do Huntsville or Chattanooga, or do y'all only try to stay here?
We try to stay within 1 hour, usually, of Henniger. We go down to like Cedar Bluff and Center rarely. We've been close to Gurley and close to Huntsville. We've been to Chattanooga and stuff. But generally, the Fort Payne, Scottsboro area would be our main area. Henniger, Eider, obviously, all these little towns around here. But yeah, I think we just try to stay within 45 minutes around. If we can stay under that, I think we're good.
I got you. What are your long-term goals for the company? It's a two-parter. What are your long-term goals for the company, for Tom Shaw Painting, and what would you go ahead and answer that one? I'll get the next one.
I guess long-term goals would be hopefully retire one day. Hopefully find a couple more good people that I could train up. I have a couple good people now. If we had a couple more and maybe specifically train one to be the leader, and then where I could step aside and
Dylan?
yes,
Dylan?
more than likely, yes.
Okay.
honestly.
All right. Cool, man.
Dylan will always have a future with us. He's
That's cool.
very dependable. I can't brag enough about him. He's doing really good. He's really turned his life around, like
That's
most of us have.
beautiful. Beautiful to hear.
Most of us, I have a similar story to his. I like a success story,
I do too.
but what I like better is somebody who messed up a lot and then turned their life around and then had a success story.
Amen.
That's a good story. That's a
fine, man.
better story.
I like that.
I really love that.
That's
I
a
personally had
movie.
that.
Those are
Dylan's had
movies.
that. You've
Those
had
are what
that,
movies are made
right?
of.
We've personally been able to live that and overcome it, but not throughout the help with my spouse. I'd be nothing without her.
Same.
Of course, Jesus.
Amen.
I mean, both of those
Amen.
things. Without either one of those things, we're nothing. So I think long term, if I could just find somebody that would run the company and care about it almost as much as me, I think we'd be looking good. I don't know if I'll ever find somebody that cares as much as I do,
But almost.
but you could get close. And just sit back and maybe do the light work, the bidding and let them handle the work and maybe even turn it over to them one day.
That's cool, man. That's something I used to say a lot about the fights and stuff. I was like, I'll sell it. Like, so we got offered it. We got offered $50,000 by B2 to buy the AFC. Like after our second show, they offered us $50,000 and like $50,000 in stock or something. And I took my grandmother and my granddad with me to meet the guy. We sat down, we had breakfast to talk and see what they were offering and things like that. Because I trust my granddad's opinion. He got to do a lot
Absolutely.
of good business. He got to work. He used to work for international trucking, but he was like the guy talking to the president and stuff about like carbon emissions and stuff.
Right.
So I trusted his opinion. And he was like dealing with the people that were like the union at the time. Union was different then.
Right.
And he was talking to them, so I knew he could have a conversation and talk. My grandmother, I just trust her opinion, her reads on people. So I had to sit down with them, and they said, well, if you do it, he's going to be your boss. And so think about it. And they didn't really give me no clear cut. And then I took Trevor, Pete, and Jeff Powell was there too when I went with my grandparents, just so he could hear. And because I trust his opinion, and he was a big part of what I was doing. And then we went, and I had Trevor Peak and Mark Young with me, and we had a sit down at Katie's Catfish at Rainsville. And we left that day with they said sell. They said, go ahead and sell. Everyone agreed, sell, do the sale, go ahead and do it. And I'm not blaming nobody. I'm telling you the story.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't want to. How do you sell your kid?
Right.
I love the AFC even today. Right now, Tom Bernard has the cage. And I love Tom's good people. That cage is sitting in Tom's place right now, wishing it was at my house. The same way that I'm wishing that I was where the cage is, if that makes sense. I know It's not a real thing. I know
Right.
it's an inanimate object. But that cage and the work that I let it do and put in it, it wants that. That's its purpose. It needs that. It needs it. And for me, aside from being a good dad and leading people to the Lord and stuff, I know that I need it. I need that. I crave that. I want that. It's not, it'll end up back in my yard.
Right.
I ain't paying for it. I ain't buying it again. I done bought it. It'll end up back here. We'll end up working together in some way on it. I have zero doubt on that. It'll end up back with me, or something crazy is going to happen. I get weird feelings on things, man. And, oh man, I don't remember what was we talking about? I was going somewhere with that. Oh yeah. And I always said, like, once we left, we said sell, and I didn't want to at all.
Right.
Like, it's like, what's $50,000, dude? We're spending 20 a show. What's $50,000? And so I get a phone call from Trevor because I was trying to figure it out, and he goes, "Hey man, what are you thinking?" And I was like, "I honestly don't know." He goes, "Well, what do you think it's worth?" And I said, $1 million. $1 million, because I wasn't looking short term. I was
Right.
looking long term.
Right.
We were doing bigger shows than Bellator for a second, crowd wise.
Right.
Man, we were right there on that cusp. I said $1 million. And he said, "Well, you can't sell it for 50 then, can you?" And I said, "No, I can't." And I hung up with Trevor, and I was having beers by my fire, and I texted that older gentleman, and I said, "Man, I ain't gonna do it." And the story for how silly he acted after that is for another time. Well, I ain't got no beef with him or
Right.
nothing. But so you said long-term goal is to retire, grow this big, awesome company, help, promote people,
Mhm.
from within, which is beautiful.
Absolutely.
What would you like to see the long-term goals be for you can either say the long-term goals for Henniger, or you can say the long-term goals for the county. Either is up to you, whatever you think would be best. And then I've got one more, and then we're done, man.
I don't know. I think I've been trying to pay a lot more attention to the local politics because that's where true effect can really happen. A lot of people are too set on, oh, we got to vote for this president or that president or this senator or that senator.
It's got to be one or the other.
But really, right here in our own little towns, if we ain't picking the right mayors and right leaders, and that's where it starts. You got to start by getting the good leaders here, and then get the better leaders. If they don't start out good,
We're not getting no change here.
no.
If we don't have good people in, we're not getting
No.
not
If
one
you don't-
change
if
here.
the people don't actually care. If they're only in it to, to start bankrupt and all of a sudden become millionaires. I mean, we know 2 and 2 is 4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people who claim to be bankrupt, and then all of a sudden you're worth $65 million.
You
But
got
no,
the money?
yeah, but it's not the insider information, or it's not any of that they've been given. They just legally, got that money.
Yeah. So I'm agreeing with that, and I'm not trying to. I want to say I'm not trying to politic, but I know things I'm saying and stuff. It is politics. So yeah, but we're at the same time we're gonna do whatever we think God wants us to do.
Right.
For a while I was trying to do stuff, pick and choose and things like that, and now I'm just gonna do if I feel like God's saying do something, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
And that's just where I'm at on it. And I think my life will work out better for that. And if it doesn't, they said we'll be persecuted anyway.
Right.
So where are we at? What are we talking about? Jesus was persecuted. All
Right.
of them was persecuted. All
Absolutely.
12 disciples persecuted. So I'm gonna do whatever God says and roll with it that way. Last question, and it's a pretty good one. What would you like to see Tom Shaw Painting be able to continue doing in the community? What would you like to say they most gave back to the community? Son, Sam's got the softballs. They good today? No, it's a hard question.
Well, like you already know, we do try to sponsor a lot of local fighters. I don't try to pick based on skill level, as weird as that may sound, but I pick on how financially able they are to do stuff. Is this person able to eat properly, or is this person, all them things kind of factor in on who we'd like to help. I'd like to be able to help more people. I'd like to, any chance I get. If I'm just under the impression that if you have the ability to help somebody, you have the obligation to help somebody. I've been like you. I've been very blessed. It's not due to not hardworking and all the things that go with being blessed, but I never thought I'd be in a position to own a shop or be a boss or, not have to worry about my electric bill this month.
That's awesome.
That's a huge thing. People with money don't understand that.
What does milk cost?
Is the water bill going to be able to
the gallon of gas? I'm not worried about $3
is
gallon of
that,
gas.
is that milk going to be able to have milk today? And that in itself, I'm comfortable with only being financially that. Comfortable is good with me. I'm
Same.
not after being rich. If it happens, it happens. That's cool. If it don't, it don't. I'm going to be good anyway. Like I said, I got the love of my wife, got 2 great kids, got 3 great grandkids. I mean,
I dig it, man.
it's awesome.
Yes, sir. I got a guy that's fighting pretty soon, Cam Graham.
I know Cam.
I think I'm on bat for you after. Hook him up a hair. That'd be beautiful if you could.
Nice. Absolutely.
I did a little. I did what I could. And,
Yeah.
it wasn't a lot, but I know he'd appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And Cam's his fight's going one of 2 ways, man. He's knocking dude out cold, or he's going to get submitted. And Cam, more often than not, knocks people out cold.
I love that he's such a good family man.
Oh, dude, he's a white
That's
trash
all-
hero,
that's
man,
all
all
he
the
does.
time.
That's
He wears those shirts and those sweaters. His wife has them. He's a good guy,
Yeah,
man.
I follow him a lot. I like his aura and energy.
When I first met Cam, it was so I had a guy, Corey Stewart, and I still believe wholeheartedly Corey Stewart can be the next guy up if he's training full time. I believe that with all my heart. And him and Corey were fighting each other on my show, and I wasn't making no beans about it. I thought Corey was up. Well, Cam came in, was our buddies, everybody's buddies, and Cam knocked him out because Cam's nasty. You know,
Right.
Cam can knock anybody out.
Right.
Well, for a while, Cam was smoking everybody. Cam was beating everybody. He was like next dude up, man. And all of a sudden, he lost his first one. And like all the sponsors fell off. Everybody that was riding that wave fell off. It was a wild.
Everybody loses sometimes. That's something.
They all left him.
Yeah.
It's a crazy
Sad.
thing to even see. And he's a nice guy. He loves those babies. He loves his wife. He seems like a good cat to me. And then if we wanted to book if we needed to have our home painted, our business painted, how do we go about getting that lined up?
You can call my wife. She does all the estimate setting up. You can reach her at 256-605-9922, or you can leave a message on a secondary Shaw painting line. It's 256-605-3639.
Awesome. And then one more time on the first number.
It's 256-605-9922, and Denise will be the one answering the phone.
And if you have any trouble, if you can't find the number, which you could just go to the end of the video to find it.
You can also go on Google, and we are the #1 registered rating when you pull up painters in the local area.
There you go. So you get the best, you pay for the best,
That's
you get
right.
it, you get a good deal. Your house looks beautiful.
One other thing I did want to mention, we do give 5% to all Gold Star families and military veterans, current and past.
That's awesome, I think.
I
So
like to take care of
also
all of our veterans.
support the troops while
Absolutely.
you're getting some business
Absolutely.
done. Man, I think that's beautiful and awesome. Tom, I did not expect the conversation to go as smoothly as it went today. We have not got to talk a lot.
Right?
It was a very smooth conversation, man. I appreciate it.
This was easier than standing in the ring in front of all those people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate the time today. I hope your wife is doing great. I hope y'all have a great life. We're going to do this again sometime. I enjoyed
Absolutely.
the conversations,
Absolutely.
man.
It
Thank
was a
you so
blast.
much. One more time on that phone number.
It's 256-605-9922.
Get that house painted, get your business painted, get it looking sharp. Thank you again, brother.
Thank you, bud.
When I found out yesterday,
Sweet.